One of the goals of the Pipeline Project broadly was to actually not just increase the number of people of color working within the LGBT movement, but to actually retain them. And so we felt that the 21st Century Fellows Program would be actually a great strategy to address that goal within our mission, to really look at honoring, supporting, and advancing people of color talent that were already committed to the movement. One of the biggest things we really wanted to do was to create a community of people of color within the movement, and frankly to give that community a level of cachet with their having been through the program, so that internally they could support each other, but externally they would have an increased value to the movement. You would hear people within organizations say it's so hard to find, where are they, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it sounds silly, but I would literally be sitting with an executive director in an organization in, say, Detroit or Atlanta, and they say, I cannot find people of color. And of course I say, well, you know, I actually saw some on my way over here. And so to really kind of bust that myth of the invisibility of diverse talent within the movement. We've got some, we need more, but how do we actually advance what we have? We've got resources, we need to maximize them. They go through many of the same professional challenges that anyone would. They're generally all working in organizations that have limited resources, that are all kind of overworking themselves and their staffs. But beyond that, there's these added layers of things like isolation. You don't have a community of peers. You don't necessarily have visible mentors running around the movement who look like you and seem to really kind of get you in some of those very key ways that really are important to us personally. Our first cohort of 20 domestic fellows, 2 of them went on to become executive directors, say within a year or so after they finished their cycle. It was almost about readiness for them to actually make the moves and have the confidence to say, you know, yes, I'm already a leader, but for me, I can now make the choice about being an executive. I've got a different kind of understanding of and faith in myself that can allow me to take what, for anyone, is a kind of significant leap. And then furthermore, I know that I've got the kind of backup support from both my network, from the program, because once they're done with their cycle, they're not done with us. I mean, we're still around for them. One of the worst things that could happen is for someone to very laudably say, we need to do leadership development. We need to do leadership development in the context of people of color. And so let's get to it. Without really being very thoughtful or intentional about, well, what are we actually trying to achieve, why, and then how. The message to funders is just to take the time to be thoughtful and intentional and have a lot of clarity about what you're trying to do.